So step one, let's talk about our 5 steps. Step one is to ask questions to understand your partner's why, if your partner is the one who's broaching this subject. So why is your partner considering an open relationship? What's their motivation? And I really want you to get at least 3 reasons for their why. What's making them lean in this way? If the motivation is fear-based, this isn't a good reason to have an open relationship. I want it from my experience. And to me, fear-based reasons include if there's a fear of commitment or a fear of intimacy. So, wanting to, get out there. Past trauma, showing up as insecurity or ego, or just trauma of being in a relationship. Maybe you saw something horrible with your own parents in their monogamous relationship, so you can't imagine having one for yourself. You feel like they're unsafe. Already having interest in another person and wanting to pursue a relationship with that person, that's a big red flag. That's not okay. That is not a reason to have an open relationship all of a sudden, because we want to talk about what's missing then from this one. And that could be fine to still do, but you want to get to what's under the thing. It's not just something, I just feel like doing this. Why? Where's it from? What's going on? It's a wonderful, again, it's not an interrogation. I want to be really clear. There's no interrogations here. There's no, you're wrong, so you got to tell me why. It's really curious. How did I start the conversation? Curious. Wow, where's this coming from? I wonder why. Listen like you're wrong. What is this about? Go in it looking to learn something, not prove something. All the things I say. Other fear-based reasons are feeling that something is missing, but from your current relationship, but you're not able to identify that something. I often find that people confuse sex and emotional intimacy and closeness. So in other words, someone's missing emotional closeness in the relationship. They're missing that secret sauce, but they only know how to feel really close through sex. They don't know how to get what they need without sex. But it's really important that that's why these are great conversations. Well, what do you get from sex? Well, tell me more about that. Ask those collaborative questions. I'll have a list of collaborative questions at the end that you can download and that could really be helpful for this. Questions meant to elicit more conversation and a deepening of understanding. So I want you to listen to how to listen without getting defensive or hurt first, because you've got to be in a good place to have these wonderful conversations. And I think at the end of the day, for me, there's only one real reason to have an open relationship, and that's to improve the relationship you're in. So in whatever way that is, it doesn't mean that, because then we can get married. I don't think getting married is improving the relationship you're in. I mean, again, increasing intimacy, increasing openness, increasing connection, ease, joy, the words I always use. So ask your partner, I think you can ask, again, from love, not from fear. Hey, do you think this will improve our relationship? And hopefully they'll say yes. And you go, okay, great. Tell me how. What ways is that going to happen? I get clear. Because again, this is great for your partner to talk about. It's great for you to talk about. And you have to make sure this is an open conversation with no rebuttals from you. You're not waiting to hear the reasons to then go, well, no, it's not going to do that because of this. That is not helping you. Again, listen like you're wrong as you truly try to understand your partner's point of view. That is your only goal going in. Step 2 is to ask questions to further clarify. Okay, so now I want to clarify. Now you've given me the motivations. Interesting. Okay, wow. Now I want to know more. So now I want to, how do you see this looking? Ask for a picture of what they want. Why not? Let's have if you had the dream scenario of an open relationship, what would it look like to you? Would you be using apps, hookup sites? I don't know. Trolling in a bar? Like, what would it be? How often would this be? What do you see it looking like in day to day? Is there someone you already have in mind, which again would be a little bit of a red flag? Because maybe this person's looking to break up, not have an open relationship, and they're trying to ease you into it. And that's not cool. Is this a one-time thing or something they want ongoing? So is it an open relationship for a trip? I've had couples where someone is going away on a trip, like they're doing, a month-long meditation somewhere or something else. And they're like, hey, I'd like to have an open relationship while I'm there. I want to have sex with other people when I'm there. And then that's it. But I won't continue the conversations with this person. I won't continue ongoing relationship with this person in any way. It's just sex when I'm in this place. Is that okay with you? How can we talk about that? How do they feel about you having sex with other people? So they might have asked for this. Is this something, do they see it both ways? How do they feel about that? Really? What are the boundaries around being with someone else? Protection. Are they getting a sexual history from this person? Is, again, an ongoing sexual relationship or a one-time thing with each person, right? So is this, they're going to have an open relationship where they have random sex with the same or casual sex with the same person? When you and your partner then have sex, will you now use condoms if you weren't before? Are you going to use a different kind of protection? Like, how is your own sex life going to be, and your own health and safety going to be protected in that? If you decide on it together, would you keep this part of your relationship public or private? So is this something you're going to tell other people? Yeah, in an open relationship, this is how we roll. If you have children together, are they going to know? Are they going to be impacted or not? They are going to be impacted. Of course they are from anything that you're doing, but how might they be impacted? Ask those questions. So you can see, and there's many more. I'm just giving you a good, a sort of high view of all the ways you want to understand how this really looks. And what I have found when I've sent clients back to their partners to ask these questions, the partner hadn't even thought of any of this, literally just wanted to have sex with someone, and wasn't really thinking of their motivation or what it was going to look like or ongoing or not. And again, these are rich, deep conversations. Step 3, you want to ask questions to understand your own whys and wants. Okay. So now you understand what your partner wants. All right. What are your thoughts and feelings about an open relationship? Okay. What are you thinking? How will I feel if my partner's going out on a date with someone else? What's going to happen? Am I going to sit at home while they go out? How do I feel about knowing that they're out with someone probably having sex? How open do I want them to be with me about it? Tell me every detail or keep it vague. Is it going to be sex only, or is there like a date night? Is that what's happening? How much money can be spent on this other person? Hotel rooms, trips, etc. Because that's money coming out of the relationship. How do I feel about that? How much time can be spent with this other person? Like, do they just hook up at 2 a.m. for a few hours? Or is this something where they're spending a lot of time together? What's their communication with them otherwise? Do they follow them on social media? Is there texting? How do you feel about having sex with other people? Would you be doing that as a means of like revenge or to get back or to show them what they're missing? Or is that something that you're really interested in now that you're having these deeper conversations? Does this feel like something, again, I'm telling you, if you do it for revenge or to get back at your partner, that's not improving the relationship. We know that, right? So what are your motivations around the open relationship and around how, what you would like to be doing in that? What does it mean for you? Step 4, you have to have an open dialogue with all the information. Now it's time, right? You've got all the information. Now we want to have a really open dialogue. And it's important to listen to one another. This shouldn't be a time of arguing. This is not the time when you're deciding whether to do it or not. Let me be clear, that's step 5. This is just a time to have an open dialogue. Okay, I've heard from you. I've heard from me. We're coming back. I've been thinking about it. I thought of these things. And now we're coming back for yet another conversation. And all right, everything like you've learned about what I want, what you want, what are you thinking? What's on your mind? And it's really important to hear one another as you work this through. That's key. Okay. My step 5 is a little different than I think most people's. I think you should make your own decision first, like on your own. So to me, okay, so now we've had all the questions, we've gone back and forth, my thinking, your thinking, we've talked together, we've hammered out, clarifying things, we've talked together about how you feel about me and how I feel about you and what my fears are, what my hopes are, what I think could happen. Now I want you to do some soul searching. That is really step 5, not to sit with this person yet to say yes or no or whatever, but to do some soul searching on your own. Is an open relationship right for you? Now, you might have even been the one that requested it, but now you really have to come back. Now that you've learned more information about yourself, about your partner, about your relationship, I need you to now come back and think, oh, is it? Is it? So before the two of you come together, I want you each to come up with what you think, yes or no. Okay. And then you can have your final conversations about it. So there are some other things to consider, some final things to consider, I should say. And in my experience, you should say no to an open relationship if the only reason you'd say yes is out of fear. At the end of the day, if you're going to say yes out of fear, that is not a reason to have an open relationship. If you're saying yes because you're afraid of losing your partner, if you say no, that's now coercion and it's not good. If you saying yes because you want to save your relationship, it's kind of the same. You're just afraid. You feel like this will save it, even though you don't agree. You're saying yes because there are core things wrong or missing, and you're trying to see if this makes it better without really connecting this to the core things that are wrong or missing. If you're saying yes, but you're completely uncomfortable with the idea and say yes anyway, maybe you feel like a prude, or maybe you, again, feel kind of pushed, or again, if you're saying yes because you feel coerced into the decision in some way, and that could be because you're being called a prude or anxious or uptight or anal or something else, then that's not a reason to say yes. And in my experience, you can say yes to a healthy, open relationship when the relationship is strong and there's mutual trust and respect. And I've seen this, where someone's come to me and they felt blindsided. They were like, wow, I thought we were doing so well and everything really feels good with us. I can't believe my partner wants an open relationship. I think that you're, in those situations, I'm like, I think it's great. I think your partner is saying to you, I have so much trust and faith in our relationship. You make me feel so safe that I feel like I can spread my wings a little and try other things that used to maybe make me afraid, or that I was even afraid to ask for, but I trust you so much. I feel like I can ask now. When you feel confident within the relationship, right? You're really confident within it. When you're completely on board and are making the decision, again, out of love, not fear. When you and your partner have good communication, really open, you're able to discuss your feelings, your needs, your boundaries in very open and clear ways. I think open relationships can be amazing.